Between the CWU and the Port of Belize, we had agreed on two things: that we would try to keep our negotiations within closed doors, and we would also would have tried to keep ourselves outside the media. When it comes to the passing of the SI, that is something I believe was passed by government, and therefore that is something that the comments there would have to be made by government. The new leader, under Mrs. Matura, never fully engaged the port until some 12 months after. I can tell you we have a sequence of events documented to prove that delay. But of course, I have no intention of doing that unless I really get to the point of having to show that information. But it took some 12 months before the new leadership actually started negotiating with the port. I want to refer to poor workers and least benefits. On an average, a stevedore works around 40 to 70 days for the year and earns an average of about $35,000 per year. You can compare that to an average worker who works for a complete year, and you will see that there's a difference. I refer now to less academically qualified. Mr. Matur referred to them as less academically qualified. Unlike their president, I would not categorize them in that manner. I would say that they are perhaps the less fortunate in terms of job availability. However, being a stevedore is certainly a good job to have. It is a traditional type of employment that makes sure you remain a member, whether that being a family or a friend, but you remain a part of that group. It's a tradition. And of course, stevedores, waterfront workers worldwide is something of that tradition. I can now refer to the comment of Chamber of Commerce had already requested such a legislation. I need to make it clear that while I am now the president of the Chamber of Commerce, that request was made some time ago and not under my leadership. However, since we represent the business sector, importers and exporters, to whom the port is a critical aspect of their operation, that request certainly remains a priority, and it will always remain a priority for the Chamber of Commerce. Now, another comment was made to say port has frustrated every attempt by the union for a CBA. Referring back to my previous comments, since 2012, the port has never removed itself from the negotiating table. We immediately entered into negotiations in 2012 after taking over. After the change in CWU leadership, again, as I mentioned before, we waited some 12 months before the leadership got back to negotiating on the CBA. We only actually started some 3 months ago. During that time, I can tell you, we have completed every single scheduled meeting we had agreed between both parties. Another one continues today. This is a big one. Stevedores haven't gotten $1 million. This is quoting Ms. Matura. Not even $500,000, and even $250,000 for this year. Quite unfortunate that some people will speak without proper information. Christmas bonus alone for 2015 for stevedores alone was a total of $275,000. $275,000. Total salary and allowances for 2015 for stevedores are around $5.5 million. Let me repeat that. $5.5 million has been paid in 2015 to stevedoring alone. We can compare that to an average company and their total annual salary. How many companies you know probably have $5.5 million of salary per annum?